Hey guys, SirVern back here, and today is December 31st, 2023, New Year's Eve. So, my new tradition I'm going to do is at the beginning or the end of every year, I'm going to go over the list of games I beat that year, talk about each game a little bit, and then tell you my top five games of that year. They won't necessarily be games that came out that year. I have a ton of different consoles along with like a gaming PC, so there's going to be a ton. There's going to be a broad selection. So some years. This year, I think it's mostly PS5, but some years it's going to start to vary because I just got this for Christmas, so I am super excited about this. This is the Evercade Versus. Um, if you haven't heard about this console, it's like the collector's dream console. I am super excited. So I'll probably beat some of that this year, and I'm going to try to branch out and play some of my older consoles, whether it be like N64. There's a bunch of games for that I want to beat. But anyway, we'll get right into 2023's games. So I guess I'll just go down the list. So first game I beat on January 28th was the Dio Field Chronicle. Loved this game. There is, by the way, a review of every single game I'm about to talk about on my channel. So you can go back and watch like an in-depth review. But the Dio Field Chronicle was the first game I beat. And it wasn't until January 28th, which is interesting. It took me a lot longer to get one on the scoreboard that year or this year. But like I said, I loved this game. I even bought the collector's edition after the fact, the steel book. I was like obsessed. This was one of my favorite games. I loved this game. And it was so long ago, it just feels like even longer ago than just January. But if you haven't checked that out, definitely check it out. Next game I beat on February 12th was Trigger Witch, which I saw a guy on Twitter beat this game, and it looked interesting. And I pretty much also have a physical copy of every single one of these games that I'm going to talk about. And I got this one physically. I was excited to see that it was physical, and I platinumed that one. I platinumed that game as well. Also, the Deerfield Chronicle I platinumed, and I'll also mention if I got a platinum. Of course, my memory's terrible. I may not remember. But Trigger Witch and Deerfield Chronicle I both got platinums on. Trigger Witch is like a twin stick shooter. Good game. That's really all I have to say about that one. Next, I beat A Way Out with a buddy of mine. This is a co-op mandatory game, and I beat this 318. So I enjoyed this game a lot more than its predecessor. It Takes Two. We started that game and it didn't hook either one of us. We didn't love the trophies, but anyway, A Way Out was a really cool game. You're escaping from jail. Really good game. If you haven't checked that one out, I definitely recommend it for PS4. Next game was I'm a part of Games of the Month Club on Facebook. It's like a book club for video games. You pick a quarterly game and then you pick a monthly game. Monthly games are like 20 hours or less. So that's a whole lot of fun. And we picked Medieval. So I beat that 323. So that was a quick turnaround, 318 to 323. So I beat Medieval. That is a PS1 remake, I believe. I beat it on PS4, but I think it initially came out on the PS1, maybe the PS2 though. But yeah, pretty fun. Definitely old though. Controls are old. Next game I beat is PGA Tour 2K23 411. Me and my brother play that or have played that a lot this year. We love competitive games, and this one was a lot of fun. We love golf and sport. He loves sports games, and I do like golf games. I've always grown up playing like Tiger Woods and stuff like that, so that was a really fun game. Toy Soldiers HD. Also physical. I had to pre-order that one, and I got that one in not too long ago. Kind of a disappointment. A lot of the strategy games on this list are just disappointments. This is a strategy game, tower defense strategy game. Nobody playing online. Just kind of a disappointment. I mean, neat game though if it was popular, but it's not. Next game, RE8, Resident Evil 8. I beat 424. Don't know if I mentioned it. Toy Soldiers I beat 415. So Resident Evil 8, 424. This was my second Resident Evil game. First one was 7, and I beat that last year. Man, it was great. I loved it. I thought it was incredible. And I also have the PSVR 2, which is my next game I beat. So I got that right after I beat this game, which I wish I would have waited and played this or that in VR, which would have been epic. And I may go back and play that in VR one day, but I'll talk about that more in just a little bit. Well, actually, I won't. But Resident Evil 4 will be one of the next Resident Evils I play, and I'll beat that in VR. But anyway, Resident Evil 8, really fun. Not too scary, not like 7 scary, but good. My next game, it was Severed Steel. Severed Steel, was that? Don't remember much about this game. Severed Steel. I'm not sure. Anyway, I beat that 426. I'd have to go back and watch my own review. I don't remember much about that game. Oh, I think that's the run and gun game from Metal Jesus Rocks that talked about it. Maybe. I think that's it. Next game is Knack 2 on 427. I beat that with my wife. Really fun game. They weren't very popular. They got a lot of hate, but her and I beat Knack 1 and 2, and they were a lot of fun. Next game, Spider-Man Miles Morales. I beat 5-1. Good game. They are probably my favorite. I used to say Infamous was my favorite superhero game. I do love Infamous. I haven't played Second Son yet, but Infamous 1 and 2 were a lot of fun. But Spider-Man are probably my favorite superhero games that I can think of right now, and it's just a good overall game. Not super long. Had a few things in it I didn't love, but pretty good game. Good game. Say that. 5-1. Wreckfest, next game I played. I don't play a whole lot of racing games. It's definitely not my favorite strategy. That and fighting games are just not really my thing. But racing more than fighting. So Wreckfest was fun. It's like different. It is a racing game. But you also, it's like a destruction derby type of thing. And it's goofy. You can drive like couches and lawnmowers, stuff like that. I had a good time with that game. I did platinum that, I don't think. I did platinum Spider-Man Miles Morales, though. Next game, Slaycation Paradise, 520. I think I platinumed this one. Another strategy game that was just disappointing, man. It was fun at first, and then not a bad game, but just definitely not the best. 9 days later, 529, I beat the Callisto Protocol. A third-person shooter horror game. A lot better than people gave it credit for. I reviewed that, like I said, every game on this list, but that's a pretty good game. I beat that 529. Cult of the Lamb, I beat 617. That's interesting game, kind of like a city builder, decision-based. Pretty fun. Different, but good. You may hear fireworks in the background. Like I said, it's New Year's Eve, so they're shooting them off. Next game is Final Fantasy 16. I beat it on 725. I liked this game. I thought it was good. Definitely had some side quests that were maybe a little on the boring side. You'll have to just go check out my review on that game. I do not watch a review prior to playing the game, so I make my own judgments on games. And then one of my favorite things to do is go watch the review and see if like people agree with me or if I'm just insane. But Final Fantasy 16, I think a lot of people agree with me. Good game, but some of the missions were just kind of didn't need to be there. Next game I beat was Fist on 821. Fist is like a side 2.5D. You're like a rabbit, and it's interesting. You'll just have to go check that one out. I think I heard about that on maybe one of the Hidden Gem videos, but it's pretty good. Trek to Yomi. It was given out with PlayStation Plus 1 month. I bought the physical copy, but it's good, not great. I beat it 827. Next game I beat was with a buddy of mine. We were with a few buddies. We played Risk of Rain 2. I played and beat Risk of Rain 1 on the Vita, and then beat Risk of Rain 2 on the PS5 via backwards compat. It's a PS4 game, but it's really fun. It's like a roguelike. You run around, shoot a bunch of stuff, blow stuff up, and it gets insane because you can stack a bunch of different power-ups. It's really cool. Beat that on 9.4. Mass Effect's next game I beat on 9.22. The original Mass Effect, I believe that was the first time I ever beat it. I know I started it on 360, but at that time I was transitioning to the PS3, so I'm not sure if I beat it a long time ago, but excellent game. I beat it on as a part of the Legendary Collection or Trilogy, and I cannot wait to play the second one. Excellent game. One of the best RPGs ever, in my opinion. Next game, Pistol Whip on October 13th. Pistol Whip. That is the first VR game I ever beat. I believe I platinumed that game. Um, and that's where I got my PSVR 2. I don't think you can see it. It's right here though. But I also did a review on that PSVR 2 unit itself, but it was a lot of fun. You get to really use the haptics and the sense controllers. It was really fun. I liked that game. And it's like a bullet, like a what is it, like a House of the Dead on rail shooter, but of course you're in VR, so it makes it just kind of insane. You'll get your workout in for sure. Next game, Propagation Paradise Hotel, another VR game. Beat that 1017. Super scary, my goodness. Playing a VR game just intensifies everything, and a horror game is it's just excruciating to play. I mean, seriously, it like hurts your chest. Or I'm a big girl, so it's just it scared the crap out of me. It's a good game. Definitely check it out if you have a PSVR 2, and it's reasonably priced for what it is. Ending, I don't know. But next game is Horizon Forbidden West. I beat November 14th. So I thought when I was describing Horizon, I was like, man, I love Horizon, because the first one, it was just so different, so unique, that I really was happy that I played it. This one, man, just overstayed its welcome, but definitely a well-made game, but maybe not my style. Horizon Forbidden West, and it may not. I said this in my review probably, but maybe it's just because of the open world thing. I may just be kind of over that stuff for now. And I don't know if I said it, 11/14 is when I beat that game. Next game was Inspector Gadget Mad Time Party. Awful. I'm not going to say much more than that. Go watch the review. I beat that in 2 days, it looks like. I beat this on 11/16. The next game, RoboCop Rogue City. I beat that December 7th. Really enjoyed this game. It's super cool and pays a lot of respects and a lot of Easter eggs to the 80s RoboCop. I hadn't seen that one. I'd only seen like the newest one, so I went back and bought the trilogy, which I didn't even know there was a trilogy when I started the game. But I've watched a few of them, and I loved it. It was good. It definitely has flaws, but it was one of the highlights. I liked that game this year. Next game, Detroit Become Human on 12/14. Man, epic. One of the best stories in video games, I think. So many decisions you can make. I really enjoyed it. Next game, Air Twister 12/21. It is a bizarre game with one of the coolest soundtracks ever. Loved it. I even looked online to see if they had like a CD of the soundtrack. It'll get stuck in your head and you'll be singing these goofy songs. People will tell you to hush. Good game. I beat that on 12/21. Can't remember if I said that. Resident Evil 2 Remake. I beat 12/26. So that's just a few days ago. I'm all in on Resident Evil now. I beat 7, 8, and now 2. I think I'm gonna play 3 next, just because 4, it's only $30 right now, but man, it said it wouldn't be here till like February sometime, so I may just beat 3 because I looked online, it's 6 hours, so 3 is probably what I'll play next, and then 4 in VR. That's my plans for now. And the last game, which I just beat about an hour ago, review will also come out right alongside this video. Cthulhu Saves Christmas. I beat it 12/31. I picked that game because it was supposed to be short. I wanted to beat something in like 2 days, 2 sittings. It said 4 to 5 hours online. It ended up taking me 9 hours. I don't know if I'm just getting worse at video games, but I had to grind, but I enjoyed it. And that's my games. That's 28 games I beat. I was going to show you the list, but my top 5 games, so we'll go over those. This will be a little longer video, so anyway, so I'll start at number 5 and go to number 1. This was hard to choose, and some people are going to think I'm crazy for these games, but this is just the way I feel. Yeah, so these are the games I loved this year, and you can see some of the games came out years ago, some are brand new. But anyway, number 5, I'm going to give it to Final Fantasy 16. That is only the second Final Fantasy I've ever finished, 15 being the first. I know, it's terrible. I started 7 way back in the day, but I enjoyed 15. It was cool, but it was kind of fragmented. The story was kind of weird, but I did like 15, how it had the the movie companion, and it was pretty cool. It had a lot of stuff, add along add-ons to it. It had like 3 DLCs that kind of helped with the story, and along with that movie, which is I liked the movie. So, but 16 overtook it to me. It's such I like the medieval setting way better. And I really enjoyed it. I think they should have added certain things, and certain quests weren't the best, like I said, but like maybe I wish they'd had like fishing, no fishing in that game. But I loved this. The story was so cool, man. The ending was epic. Just a great game. So that's my number 5 is Final Fantasy 16. Number 4 is Detroit Become Human. I think it's the same developers, I'm pretty sure, as Heavy Rain, which is one of my favorite PS3 games ever. I loved that game. This game, there's very few games that I'll sit down and bore my wife to death telling her about, and this is one of them, about what decisions I made and how intense it was, and you only have a short amount of time to make those decisions. People can die, characters get mad at you. It's really, really cool. So if you haven't played that, definitely play it. That's number 4 for the year. Number 3 is going to be Resident Evil 2 Remake. Man, that's a good game. I had so much fun with the game. Go and watch the full review on my channel. But I am just such a Resident Evil fan now, and I can't wait to go watch like the Happy Console Gamers review on it, because I saw that he played it, and they did like they ranked their favorite Resident Evils, and it's just interesting. Now that I've played a few, I can see what they have to say about the game. And I never did play the original, so but yes, they're just so well made. Bravo, Capcom. Amazing game. Number 2 is Propagation Paradise Hotel. And that may seem crazy, but Propagation Paradise Hotel, if it was a flat screen game, it would not beat Resident Evil 2 Remake. No way. But being put in VR was just a totally different experience for me. Terrifying experience. Having to reload your gun and pick up each shotgun shell and put it in your weapon is terrifying when you have guys coming after you. It's another level of immersion, and that's why it made my number 2. I'm very happy that I bought the PSVR 2. I'm hopeful for its future, but you can go watch my review on that. I may talk about that more in that review, but that's my number 2 game. And then my number 1 game of 2023 that I played is the Diofield Chronicle. I loved this game. It's nearly perfect for me. I just re-downloaded it because they added a big update for it, New Game Plus. I've already platinumed it, but it is amazing. If they had some kind of endless mode where you could build defenses, like I probably said in my review, it's been a year ago, but that would be a perfect game for me. But I loved the Diofield Chronicle. It's a strategy RPG. With more strategy, because I love strategy games are my favorite genre. Although every one you get nowadays lately has just been kind of crappy. But if you have not played the Diofield Chronicle and you like RPGs and you like strategy games, definitely try it out. And go watch my review on that game. I gush about it probably for 25 or 30 minutes. But that's really all I got. I'm looking forward to 2024. I'm having a baby in about 10 days. So I beat 28 games this year. We'll see how many I beat next. I had a buddy say, we'll see if you beat 10, because he had a baby recently, and it's definitely going to make it more difficult, but I'm looking forward to the challenge. I'm going to try to get the PlayStation Portal so I can play downstairs with my baby, and if it gets broken, spit up on, pooped on, whatever, it's not going to be the PS5. It'll just be a peripheral, just a streaming device, and I won't care that much about it. But anyway, Happy New Year. If you haven't like this video and subscribe to my channel, there'll be plenty more videos to come. That's all I got for now. SirVern.